A prime redevelopment opportunity on the former site of a Ford assembly plant in St. Paul is nestled within a bustling residential community. The site will soon be redeveloped into a vibrant mixed-use village to be incorporated into that existing fabric, but will have an identity all its own. The site will be home to various types of housing and businesses, and with a transportation network to connect it all, building a 21st century community.
One of the most exciting parts of the Ford site is that it's in a premier neighborhood on the banks of the Mississippi River, minutes from the airport, minutes from downtown Minneapolis, minutes from downtown St. Paul. The reason people are so excited about the future of the Ford site is the same reason I'm so excited to live in Highland Park. It's because I want to be here, people want to be here. That's why it's a great commercial district currently. That's why it's a great residential district as well.
The city hired the transportation engineering firms of Nelson Nygaard and SRF to conduct a transportation study. The study findings helped to inform the overall planning framework for the site.
And I think what we found is that when you spread those impacts around, when you think about the fact that people are going to be coming here walking, on bikes, on transit, and yes, driving, that they're not all coming from one place, but that they're coming from around the neighborhood and around the city and around the region. They're going to access the site in multiple ways.
When we started planning for the Ford site, we knew that transportation was one of the keys to making a successful development, not just at the Ford site, but also in the surrounding neighborhoods. What this study has shown is that we can do that. We can make traffic flow better outside the neighborhood and flow even better within the Ford site, and that's an exciting prospect.
So it's absolutely important to create multiple connections into the Ford site, and not just multiple connections, but to actually extend existing streets as best as possible into the site. By allowing and designing the street network to kind of bring the neighborhood into the Ford site. Another component, I think, of what we're looking at here is that those trips are not all coming across the Mississippi River on Ford Parkway. Some of them are going to come from the south, some of them are going to come from the east, some of them are going to come from the north. And those trips are going to spread out between multiple streets, whether it's Montreal or St. Paul or Ford Parkway or Cretin or Cleveland. No one of those streets is going to bear the brunt.
By letting traffic flow through, you have drivers who don't necessarily want to be at some of the more congested intersections able to move a different way that they've never been able to move before. One example is the intersection we're standing at, Ford Parkway and Cleveland Avenue, which is a very congested intersection, particularly in the afternoon. They'll be able to move through that site now rather than coming through this congested intersection. Having a mix of uses on the site should spread out the impact of traffic throughout the day so that you don't have big gluts of traffic at various times. I think it's important to make sure that we allow vehicles to use the site, that we accommodate vehicles, but that we make the site really conducive to walking and biking, as well as transit. We want good transit centers in the site too. All of this will help keep the traffic counts down while accommodating a larger number of people on the site.
People's attitudes and desires about where to live and how to move are really changing. More than half of all Minnesotans told the National Association of Realtors that they would like to live in a neighborhood like Ford and Highland because they want to live in a mixed-use neighborhood with a lot of transportation choices. The plan is to have a pleasant transportation experience for everybody, no matter how they get around.
I like biking and walking places because then I can get in some exercise on my way to work or on my way to go run an errand or get something to eat. I think it's a great way to practice sustainability and protect the world we live in.
In the Twin Cities area, you're blessed with a growing and robust transit network, and the Ford site absolutely needs to be and will be a part of how that happens over time.
The results, I think, have come back really good and given us great direction on how to plan a development of 125 acres that interplays with the rest of the neighborhood and really is a successful development.
Development on this formerly vacant site will bring new pedestrians, cyclists, and cars to the area. However, through studies like this one, smart infrastructure, and innovative design, the impact is manageable and will result in a vibrant and thriving community.